Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Bibi Lorenzetti, yoga teacher, birth doula, and postpartum Ayu doula. If you're new to the channel, there's tons to explore from yoga videos, meditations, to baby food, to birth support, and to talks like this about principles of yoga. So I hope you enjoy the content, and please feel free to always reach out so I can continue to put out what you guys are seeking to hear and learn. So today's topic is bandhas. I promised in another one of my videos that I would specifically do a video on that, so that if you're looking to deepen the practice or understanding of what a bandha is, or what a bandha supported practice is, here you have it. So the word bandha in itself means a lock, a root lock, something that is holding the energy, right? Literally it translates to lock, but I want you guys to envision it as this place in the body where we are holding, right? We're holding energetically, we're holding at a subtle muscular level. And they're not necessarily specific physical places that you can point out, right? Like your bicep or your tricep, right? It's not part of the anatomy. It's just we give a general location of where bandha is, but then it's really a deep inner exploration of deep listening to the body as you practice and fine-tuning your ear. So in the practice of Ashtanga yoga, we specifically talk about three major bandhas, and these are mulabandha, uddhyana bandha, and jaladhara bandha. You might have heard of some of these. Mulabandha is the root lock, right? It's the first one. It's at the base of your pelvis, in the perineal area, the perineum. So the space between the front and the back, depending on your anatomy. That might be a little bit different, the way that you engage it. But basically, the sensation for a woman is whenever you are peeing, if you hold the pee, the flow of the pee, that is the sensation of holding mulabandha on a gross level. So mulabandha is the first one, and by engaging it, not only are you protecting your pelvic region, your hip, the attachment of where your femur goes into the hip socket, the very lowest part of the spine, your SI joint, but also you're preventing the downwards flow and escaping of the prana, of the life energy that you are creating with the practice, right? Yoga is like, you can imagine your body practicing asana as this circuit of so many little channels of energy, right? Through which energy runs, and sometimes there's blockages in the body, and so energy gets stuck. So while you're practicing yoga with the breath, you're directing prana through specific areas of your body that need more circulation, right? Where there are granthis or blockages. And so in order for all of that energy, once released, or if it's already flowing, for it to not move out of the body, but to regenerate and recirculate within the body, we lock it in, right? So mulabandha is the first way that we lock it in from escaping from our bottoms. Then we have jaladhara bandha, which is somewhere about 3 or 4 fingers below your belly button. And this is the flying upwards bandha. It makes you light. And this one is a little bit harder to find, but basically what you want to do is you want to take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, push all the breath out through your nose. And then again, inhale. And as you inhale, feel your pelvic floor lift. Hold it there, exhale. And then as you exhale, notice how your abdomen, lowest part of your abdomen, begins to draw back and up. Continue exhaling. Once you feel that feeling, hold it there and inhale. Right, so right there is the external physical cue of where uddhyana bandha is, right? So at the very bottom of your exhale, once you've already engaged the pelvic floor, you will find that deep inner suctioning of the abdomen. that is Uddiyana Bandha. So it's not muscular tension, it's not abdominal tension, it is beyond that, it is more subtle. So that's kind of how you can begin to play around with that. If you take downward facing dog and you tuck the front bottom ribs back a little bit, right? And then you lengthen the tailbone upwards and think of your sitting bones drawing together and lengthening down towards the heels. You'll notice that your abdomen slightly suctions back, and the idea of drawing the sitting bones together will allow for the perineum to engage. So that's also another nice way to kind of see it or feel it in action. The third one is Jaladhara Bandha, which is not used very often. Usually the easiest place that you'll find it is in the primary series is at the end. Well, actually in any series at the end when we do the Padmasana breath, we take the chin towards the chest, and it's kind of like if you wanted to hold a tennis ball underneath your neck, right? You're not letting your chest sink down. You're keeping your chest nice and lifted. You're lowering the chin up and around towards the sternum, right? Jala is throat, so it is a throat lock. And this is meant to stop the energy from escaping, the prana from escaping through the crown of the head, right? So you're keeping the movement of the breath, the circulation of the energy inside the body so that you can receive all of the healing properties of the practice. They can be distributed evenly throughout the body and kind of thrusted into the areas where there is blockage, where there is a necessity for flow, for circulation. There are a few other postures, especially in the later sequences, where you do apply Jaladhara Bandha, but generally, even if you're looking towards your belly button, there's not that aware engagement of the chin towards the sternum. It's more of just a chin down. So those are the three. Usually you will begin with the pelvic floor and then with the lower abdomen lift, so mula and uddhyana, and those will be in any of the postures, and it will help you not only to keep your spine safe and your SI joint safe, but it will allow you to become lighter and to find more space in your spine, especially if you're doing back bending, right? There you have access to more movement, you have access to more fluidity in the spine, and you also when you're jumping back and lifting your weight, there's a certain amount of lift that happens naturally when you are engaged, right? Your body is more able to lift itself and to carry itself back. And then also because of the physicality of it, you are restraining circulation in very crucial organs of the body. So that in itself, it's a kriya, it's a practice of cleansing. Because when you release at the end, all the circulation flows back in. And so those organs, especially all of the abdominal and reproductive organs, are being naturally irrigated with fresh circulation. So it's a great way to get rid of stagnation and ignite your agni, ignite your digestive fires for all of the processes in the body that entail elimination. So those are kind of the main elements. Another important thing about bandhas is that it allows to root your attention inside of the body. If you're practicing to become aware of your bandhas, especially as a beginner, it helps you to take the attention inwards, right? So the practice of pratyahara, which is one of the 8 limbs of Ashtanga yoga, which is taking the senses and moving them inwards, redirecting them inwards towards the self, right? Towards the purusha, towards the inner self. So that is a very good way to have that action happening, because it is a very physical sensation to which you can place your attention on, aside from, of course, the breathing. Ujjayi breathing, which is a deep breath through the nose that is engaged in bandhas, is of course heat generating because of this engagement, right? And it's highly cleansing because of this engagement. And it only is really possible if you understand how to root it in a pelvic lift and in lower abdomen in engagement. So I hope this has been useful to you. I might add a few videos later on the physicality of it so you can actually see it in action. But I hope that for now this kind of gives you a basis of how it works, and that you are able to practice it, try it out. And if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I would love to continue to assist you in this. You can always email me at info@bblorenzetti.com. There's a link to both of my websites below where you will also find a way to contact me. And please do subscribe if you are enjoying the content. I am in the process of building my YouTube channel, so your support is really a blessing. So I will also continue to improve this whole conversation to a screen. So please make yourself visible by commenting here. All the best. Thank you for listening.